Welcome back to Vancouver Carpenter. So Festool sent me this stuff maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, and I haven't gotten around to making a video about these new tracks until now, but I think I finally have the perfect job to showcase exactly how these new tracks work. So after building this skateboard box, I've never been perfectly happy with where this piece of steel sits. It sticks out a little bit too much. But I've always thought trying to run a skill saw down here would be a total pain to get it perfect. Now this box is 10 feet long, and between the two tracks that they sent me, I think I have a little over 10 feet, and the new features on the track are gonna help me fasten it down to be able to get a perfectly straight cut without, worrying about it moving, because there was no way for me to clamp it on here if I was gonna use the traditional tracks. I've never liked how much it sticks out right here. Sometimes when you're sliding on a skateboard, your wheel can get kind of pinched, so having it stick out like that right here makes it a little more difficult. And the fact that it sticks out more on the top makes it not feel like a real ledge. They even sent me another track saw, which I didn't need because I still have the cordless one they sent me ages ago. The difference is they sent me a corded one, and what I like about the corded one is that it hooks up to my vacuum, and so as soon as I turn the trigger on this, then the vacuum starts. So it makes that a little bit easier instead of having to turn the vacuum on, walk back here, and then walk back and turn it off. So that's one benefit. Right now I need to just cut the strip here. It's got a name, I'm sure, but this little strip is not the exact cut line of the saw yet. But once we do our first cut, then it will be. So I don't want this to become too much of an ad, you guys, but one of the first things I noticed about these was like, what are these big holes in the middle here? I found that a little bit weird, but what they're for is to put on here. So they're always innovating, always finding new ways to make their tools work a little better. Anyways, I got to get these two tracks joined together so that we can actually make this cut. Okay, thankfully it doesn't look like they changed anything to do with their hardware. So if you have, your old, I don't know what you call these, track joiners, they still work. Okay, I think the first way I want to try is they got these new little sticky pads right here that apparently, let's see how easily those slip into there. That was nice and easy. I was worried that the fact that it sort of sticks up right here might be a problem, but because there's adhesive, as soon as I push down, it'll probably stay stuck. I want to cut about 1/8 off, so I'm just going to eyeball 1/8 all the way along. Looks pretty good. Right about there. I bet you, if we just pull that off, we can stick these down just like this. Yeah, it's staying stuck. Even on all that wax I have there for skateboarding, it's staying decently stuck. It would be a bit of a different story if I was on a horizontal surface. I should say a vertical surface. This is horizontal. One of the trickier things sometimes is getting your depth set just right, because if you just go by this scale right here, you often forget to include the thickness of the track. So I'll often get right down there and take a look. So it's just a hair deeper. Okay, is it stuck? Yeah, it's stuck enough. Okay, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So the only struggle I was having here is that I'm running this vacuum off like a 50-foot cord that's going back to not a main panel of a house, but to like a garden shed. So it's probably underpowered. So I was finding that it was bogging down as I was trying to push a little faster, but I'm pretty sure, like I said, it's just too much cord, not enough power to run both the vacuum and the saw at like full speed. Otherwise though, I mean, the cut I think is flawless. Let's get this off of here and take a look. All right, how hard is it to pull these up? Oh, that makes sense. I wouldn't have even thought of that. But these just, yeah, that way you don't wreck your track as you pull it off. So those come up really easily. So they did say in the promo video that you could reuse these things, but you know, they won't even stick to themselves now. But again, like I said, I stuck these down onto a surface that has literally had wax put on it, and it's baking in the hot sun. So, you know, that's like kind of a greasy, oily surface. They stuck well enough for their one-time use, but yeah, these are done now. The cut is, of course, flawless, as to be expected. Dead straight cut. Even though my old cut was pretty straight, this one's perfect. So it'll look really good with the steel. Okay, so I've made this cut once before when I first cut the notch for the coping. Just snapped a line and freehanded it with a skill saw. It was annoying, but I got the job done. But now there's some new features on this track that'll make this easier, because again, I can't get a clamp in here and clamp it. So they got these new countersunk screw holes right here. And I didn't want to use that on the top face because I didn't want to put more screw holes in the top. So I have a number 6 by 3/4 inch screw right here. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good right there. It looks like you might even be able to actually tweak these a little bit. Only downside is if you like don't get your pilot hole exactly in the center of this thing, it'll move this off. So you could use one of those, are they called an awl, or you could use the self-centering hinge. Oh, that would be the smart thing, the self-centering hinge bit that I've used for doing the cabinet hardware videos. I would say 2 screws per track should be more than adequate. No reason to fill up all 4 of the screw holes. Yeah, it's nice and sturdy, nice and sturdy. Okay, one more cut here and then this job I've been procrastinating on doing will be done. That was so much easier than the last time. And yep, a perfect, flawless cut. Nice. So as far as I know, in terms of the track, that's the new features. And I've never felt like I needed it on the other one because I never had a situation where I really needed to do it, but really came in handy and made the job easier, both those new tricks. That is a couple of nice cuts there. I hope I didn't go too deep. We'll find out. Okay, moment of truth and or maybe disappointment. Okay, it's perfect there. Sticks up a little bit. Enough to recut it. Let's try screwing it down and see what happens. Perfect here, but not in the middle. Okay, it's a lot better. It's a lot better, I can go with that. Yeah, it wound up totally perfect right there, but for whatever reason, it lifts up a little bit along the way. Oh well. It's not very bad. It's just a tiny little lip. And it wound up a lot flatter right there where I was trying to get it flat. So overall, it's a success. But most importantly, at least for the case of the video, it did a really good job actually showing what the differences of these new tracks are. But now it's time to get to the really, really, really important things and skate it after I clean up. Okay, you guys, that's enough of that. It definitely works better. It feels better. I'm glad the whole thing didn't end up totally flush on the top, because it is nice to have the tiniest bit of a lip. Although it does bother my perfectionism a little bit, but just gonna have to live with it. Anyways, hopefully you got something out of this video. I want to say thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter. Till the next one.